you for making out time to listen to this innovation, wisdom filled, and life transforming message from Dr. Joshua Kolawole. He is a transforming minds evangelist with Valdymas College. Our passion is to make you a strategic innovator and help you move from a socialized mind into a transforming mind, a self-transforming mind. Now let's take a deep dive into the message.
I love Valdymas.
Hello, dear viewers, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you are on this planet. Today, we're talking about the heart of strategic thinking, and this is our Practical Wisdom Series 10. I'm Dr. Kolawole Joshua. I'm a Transforming Minds Evangelist. And of course, I am with Valdymas College of Advanced and Preliminary Studies. And you can learn more by visiting our website. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, to liking us on Facebook and other social media platforms. Thank you so much for listening, and please do stay tuned and listen to the end. New growths, new developments come from new thinking. Does that hit you differently? New growths, new development comes from new thinking. So if you want 2021 and the years ahead to change, if you want better and greater outcomes, and then you need to start embracing new thinking. And I would like you to understand that if you don't know who you are, you will answer to whoever you're called, because life will definitely label you. But you must first know who you are clearly. If you don't know the truth about yourself, about your origin, about who you are, your potentials, every lie that life presents to you becomes a possibility for you. And that's why you see people running helter-skelter. And finally, if you don't know where you're going in life, if you don't have a clear place, something you hold on to clearly, life will drop you at any bus stop. And that is why even for you, you must be clear. And you can't afford to just be running around like an hustler. You need to be clear of where you're going. This will now take me into, because you can't afford to stay general about your life. You can't afford to operate with common sense again. Common sense would always guarantee common results, because what common sense means is sound, practical knowledge or judgment that has produced repetitive results in your environment. That is what is common sense mean. So because it has produced repetitive results in your environment, it is already bounded by a box of the achievement and the maximum of what you can become and who you can become. But until you embrace new thinking outside of those boxes, there is no way you can see deeper and different results. That is why, as a strategic thinker, you will need to think outside the box. I would love you to know that strategic thinking, anyone who engages in intentional mental process to focus on some clear set of goals, plans, variables, and critical factors upon ideas that will influence or changes something, either incrementally or transformatively, over a short, medium, or long period of time. Especially with this competitiveness and change that is happening in our environment daily, is a strategic thinker. So there must be an intentional mental process. There must be focus. It has to influence a change. And it must be related to either someone, to a team, a business, an institution, or a nation, or maybe the whole world as it is. Strategic thinkers are nimble in themselves. They have deep understanding of different kinds of thinking and how to switch, how to adapt, and when to adopt each form of thinking and run with them. So it's not like strategic thinking is a unifocused thinking. It's actually the ability to switch, to move through different kinds of great thinking. You see, why do you need to be strategic? I would need to just keep saying this. It's a competitive world. It's a world that is filled with good and evil. It's a dynamic twist of good and evil. You must go through pain before you succeed. You must go through exam before you're promoted. You must serve. You must invest. You must lay down a seed in pain before you can earn reward. So it's a competitive and dynamic world. It's a world where you need to keep evolving or you would expire. It's a world where you are to live, otherwise you will die. It's a fast-paced world. Changes are happening. Both good and bad changes are evolving at the speed of thought. And imagine the speed at which things are changing in the world of technology, in every sphere of life. The ideas, politically, economically, how things are evolving. So you cannot afford not to be strategic. Then you have limited capacity, you have limited time, limited energy, limited knowledge. Other resources too are as well limited. You can only do about a few things. So because of this, you will need to be strategic. I'm not saying you have not been, because automatically you've made choices in the past, but it's now good to come to full awareness of those choices and understand that you must deal deeply to understand the consequences of the choices before picking them. So my call for you today is to make you deeper in understanding consequences before you pick up the decision. Understand the laws that guide those decisions and how to avert consequences that may lead to greater damage than the benefits that the choice would bring. So that is why you need to understand as in strategy. And then the future is still in the fluid state. You can behold the future now and form it. You can give it a shape. You can give it a form. You can dictate what it will be like for you. And everyone you see today embracing or enjoying a certain realm of success or greatness, they actually had done some things yesterday. They had created, they had planned ahead. They had creative imagination. The Walmart you're seeing today was an investment by someone who had already planned, invested on a long term. You are just seeing the success of Walmart today, but there have been strategic success choices that had been made decades ago. So that's why you need, it's a world where the future is always in the fluid state. It only takes strategic thinkers to be able to formulate it. And that is why you cannot afford as not to be strategic. You have to be strategic. And now, the heart of strategic thinking, we need to go through these 12 different types of thinking so that you will understand how the switches can happen. They are actually, I call them thinking for greatness. And I take a clue from this book by John C. Maxwell about thinking, thinking for change. So I'm introducing to you that all these types of thinking can be found one way or the other in strategic thinking. And this can produce results ranging from incremental gains to transformative gain, either for an individual, for a team, for a family, for an institution, a nation, organization, and then the whole world. There's the people who are big picture thinkers. They are more futuristic. They plan 10, 15, 20, 30 years beyond. They see the big picture. They are not interested in fine details and immediate short-term gains. They are the critical thinkers who are more conservative. They think critically from their heart. So they keep more of their plans with themselves. They camouflage. And you find people like that in meetings where they would have allowed everybody to exhaust themselves. Then they will now bring out their idea. Or someone who a day to, or maybe a week to marriage is when they now reveal all their plans all the while to you. So they are critical thinkers. They think so deeply, but they are more conserved in their way. They don't speak up on time. And even in business, you will find most of them like that. They advertise and they put people in suspense. Creative and innovative thinkers, they keep changing, they keep creating, they keep building. They merge design. They're able to merge the heart of creating something and then designing it to fit the market. And they create a system that also is able to advertise the product. Focused thinking are narrow people. They leverage on speed and strength. Example like cheetah. Cheetah focuses on an animal, runs with the best speed, picks up the prey. So they narrow down all the energy towards a single source and they get it done. focused thinkers. Realistic thinkers, of course, all these different types of thinking, the best way to understand and don't forget them is, as you're listening to each one, just be tying it to one of your friends. Definitely, you will have friends that are represented across the spectrum. Just tie them to one of your friends. So it's easy for you to just say, when you remember one friend, you would remember, okay, he's a critical thinker. Okay, this one. So realistic thinker, people will always tell you, look, I will not do beyond my limits. This is what is clear. This is the amount I'm earning. This is what I can do. This is what I can achieve. They rarely break the box. They rarely think outside the box, and they only go after what is clear to them. And they really don't push themselves too much because they are in the realistic zone of things. It is actually good to also be realistic. So it's not a bad thing. It's something you need to understand. Reflective thinkers are deep-seated thinkers. Although they repeat success patterns, what has worked for Mr. A, I would also keep doing it and it will work for me. Reflective, they keep reflecting on people's experiences on the past, so they have deeper memories. Possibility thinkers are people who think outside the box. They see possibility in anything. So when you ask them, can this be done? They will say, I don't know. I don't know because I've not tried it before. They want to try it. Can you long dive? Can you deep dive into the ocean? I don't know until I try it. They are ready to try anything. They see the possibility. They see the end. They are the people who says the Niccolo Machiavelli principle, the end justifies the means. Unselfish thinking. Of course, you have people around you whose life is amiable. You wonder why they are not passionate about the gains for themselves. They are always thinking about others. Mothers are a classic example of non-selfish thinkers. They classically think about the whole family, how everything will work. The deeper they are able to sacrifice, the more unselfish we call them. And tactical thinkers, more of tactile, what their hands can touch. They are very dicey people because tactical thinking sometimes adapts rapidly, too rapidly for them to be focused. They adapt too rapidly, even when you mistakenly discuss an idea beside a tactical thinker. Before you know it, he has executed the idea. And you will be wondering, wow, how did this happen? Tactical thinkers may have 10 different kinds of curriculum vitae for different kinds of job. They have registered like 5 different companies to do different things. They are ready, they are hustlers, as it were. The problem with them is they are really not so stable, and you earning trust because they've not been known for one thing. It's always a difficult thing. However, in the line of greatness, you will need people like that or this kind of thinking occasionally. Unpopular thinking. You see, there's one called the popular thinking, which is the common sense, the things that is common in your environment. But you will need to know that deep-seated unpopular thinkers exist. They always pull up ideas out of the blues, and you are wondering, how in the world did you go and bring this out? They always think unpopularly. Shared and team thinking. Some people are excellent team members. Excellent team members. They are able to give you different views, different shared opinions about how things can manifest. And bottom line thinkers are exceptional people. They can be a bit argumentative, and they just want to know what is a need for me. Before we run, what is a need for me? Once they have a clear picture of what's a need for them, they are ready to throw their energy themselves completely into everything to achieve that result. And that goal you have set them up is what they want. They do not want disappointment. They do not want variation. They do not want it to change anything. They are bottom line thinkers. Just give me the summary, the net effect, the net output, the net profit. What's my percentage share? And they are all in. So these are different kinds of thinking that can be integrated occasionally, or adapted or modulated or used in different forms in the pathway to strategic thinking. So the art of strategic thinking, I need us to understand that strategy and strategic thinkers are disciplined men. They are guarded men. They are men who have mastered their emotions, mastered their thoughts. They are men who prepare more than halfway for battle. They are already well prepared, far ahead of their enemies to fight. And of course, strategic thinkers will plan. In planning, they are used to turning big issues into simple, small, manageable sizes. And they're ready to tie it into different sizes or chunks of time, short, medium, and long-term objectives. I will not deceive you. It takes great vision to be a strategic thinker. And a lot of people term ego as a strategic thinker because I think at about 5,000 feet above sea level, the eagle can spot a mouse or a chicken and come all the way with strategic speed. Within seconds, goes down, picks his prey, and returns back up and devour the prey. Deep ability to see beyond circumstance, to see far ahead, is critical to strategic thinking. If you will succeed in life, you cannot afford to be seeing what others are seeing around. You cannot afford to be saying what others are saying around. You must be seeing differently. Anything that keeps making you shout everything that everyone is saying in your environment, then know that something is wrong with your ability to create, to strategically think. So the easy way for you to know if you have engaged the strategic thinking part of your mind is when you start saying something that is different from what others are saying. You must see differently. You must see opportunity in every adversity, in every challenge. When people are shouting COVID-19, people are making money from different other this thing. When elections are becoming heated and tough, that is when some people become multi-millionaires, because that's when they cut deals and explain how they can make things happen. You must learn to leverage on crisis to make gains. You must learn to know that in crisis, some things will happen and you will leverage. An example is during COVID-19, all stocks went down. Banking stocks went down. People invested in it and it has doubled now. So a lot of people leverage on that opportunity. You must be ready to operate above your circumstances, rise above the storm. It is when the storm is heaviest the most. That's when strategic thinkers enjoy, because they have already planned above to rise on the storm. So you must always be positioned. When things are happening negatively and people are screaming, that is the time for you to think and understand that there is an opportunity in this. There is a gain in this. Strategic thinkers actually train and mentor people. They build leaders behind themselves, not followers. They build an independent community. Strategic thinkers are really people who will love people to come and meet them for things to happen. They are ready to empower you. They are ready to enlighten you. They are ready to encourage you so that you can also stand alone as a leader and also influence in your own network. There is this fractal model that as they are influencing their world at their higher level, they want you at your own next level to also be influencing your world so that you can build a layer of influencers who will continue to influence their world and build interdependent communities. They always test people before they trust. They will always test before they trust. They test for commitment. They test. You must earn their trust. Look, it's normal as a strategic thinker. You must build success story. You can't wait for inheritance. You can't depend on people to help you. You know, it's a common saying in Africa, I don't have people who would help me. I don't have people who will support me. That's why things didn't work out for me. It's just a lazy mentality. Strategic thinkers, they seek fresh information. They do not depend on history. They keep evolving. They keep changing things. They keep trying to see differently. And they build success stories for themselves. And one funny thing about them is that they keep reinventing after a while. Maybe some, after they celebrate a certain age and they achieve a certain feat after a certain number of years, like some people say, by age 32, I thought I need to break loose. And they resign from their job and they go and create a community. Some will say by age 40, I rediscovered myself and I thought I could follow this passion. I could remember Clay Christensen saying after success in some business, in starting up some business and raising it up to a certain level, he went back into the academics and became a professor of business innovation with Harvard Business School. He's late now, but you can imagine Strategic thinkers reinvent, they rebrand, they create sustainable plans that lives beyond them. That means they do not expire. Let me go deeper. Strategic thinking is deep and it's a continuous form of thinking. It's a long thinking, it's continuous. So if you're going to get into this realm, be ready to engage in continuous thinking. You must be willing to gather information, to read, to gather intelligence. You must be deep enough to get to the realm of wisdom. You must be interested in improvement, innovation, and then transformation. You must understand that whatever you discover, must be customized towards your people. You will always have people that will believe in you. It must be customized towards them. Because you're customizing, you will definitely polarize. You will polarize people. So there will be people who will be for you, and there will be people who will not be for you. In fact, the art of strategy is calling to say, by focus, these are the set of people that we're interested in, and we cannot fulfill the biddings of these other people. So because of that, you will need to be committed to fulfilling the purpose of the people who will be for you. So you won't have everybody. And once you understand that, those who you have, you will be committed to fulfilling completely their purpose. Strategic thinkers would encourage, they will enlighten and empower. So in the heart of strategic thinking, whatever product or plan you're bringing out, whatever ideas you're bringing out must encourage people, must enlighten them, and must empower them. And then strategic thinkers are also interested in exceptional service, elegance, beauty, aesthetics, user-friendliness. They want to wow anybody they meet. They want them to say, wow. Imagine if you see the sleekness of a MacBook Air. Won't you say, wow? The aluminum covering. Won't you say, wow? That is how strategic thinking comes to bear. It's a choice. It's a choice. You would have to let go of some other things. It's a choice. But in that, you will polarize the market and you would give your own people complete package. And that's strategic thinking. The race is not for competition, and that is where we always get it wrong. When we talk about strategy, you think you're competing against someone. It's actually the heart of differentiating yourself. It's the heart of standing aside and unique. You define your own race and not run helter-skelter or be running races of others. So whoever you want to be, if you be a neurosurgeon, you will keep dividing your specialty up until, so you're not in competition with anybody. And so if your friend decides to be a pilot or decides to go into economics, health economics, you're not in competition. All of you are only differentiating yourself and becoming exceptional in those areas. And in the business world, you can choose to pursue after profit. Some will pursue after purpose, after meaning, after impact. Some will pursue after brand name. Some will pursue after national impact. And social entrepreneurs will pursue after social prosperity for the nation. In business, you must always avoid the price cutting method of competition. It's a zero-sum race. It brings everybody down to zero. You must find a unique place where you will be valuable, a luxurious thing that you will do differently, that everyone who comes to you will know that this is for us. We are enjoying this exceptionally. Strategic thinkers will stay creative. Look, I would explain something. Strategic thinkers are not psychophants. Psychophancy is a common occurrence in communities that are run by emotions, where they place compassion ahead of competence and character, where people are always tuned to, can you help me, or you should help me. And because of that, everybody tries to manipulate their way through, manipulate their emotions and find a way to bring down another using one emotion. And you will see a lot of evil thrive in that environment. And so everybody becomes errand boy or foot soldiers. You should know that once you start bootlicking or you start doing ophthalmology, what we call ophthalmology back then in Africa then, where you just want to do things so that they will see you. There's really no passion in you. There's no deep-seated meaning in why you're doing things. You will always remain at that level and you will always be disappointed. It will ever end in pain. So don't worry. Once you see people around you trying to do yes sir, carrying bag for God, carrying Bible in church, as in saying they want to tap anointing, and instead of going through the deep process of praying or doing things right, and they want to just do things by circumventing the ways, they don't want to go through the process, but they want to manipulate their way to the top. Just know that it ends in pain. And please don't join them. Don't do it. Always stay in the creative and mental realm. When they say these are the certifications required to achieve something, go after them. Get it sorted. When they say these are the process plan for you to get something done, go after it. Do it. Stay at the developmental and creative realm. Don't stay at the errand boy realm and expect greatness to come your way. And if you have started it, please stop it. What you don't know is that the leaders, the managers of organization, they know those who to go and meet when the discussion becomes mental and cerebral. And they know those who to go and meet when they just need a errand boy to just run rattle race about. So please stop it going forward. Finally, the best practical application of strategic thinking is that it is not about motion. It's not just about running around. It's about deep meaning, deep-seated meaning in why you're doing something. An example is, if you want to gain an employment now, you can be talking about how much are they going to pay me, but the deep-seated meaning is, who am I going to become by the time I gain this employment? Because that's more critical. What if you get the job and you turn out 5-10 years to become an evil man, and you are a deficit and a great bad influence to your society, to your family, to your society, just because you worked under a bad boss? So deep-seated results, you follow after result. You have understanding of the process, but you keep your eye on excellent results. The journey is just the pathway. The destination is the key. So a woman that just get pregnant today and she's celebrating, you can imagine the destination is actually to bring forth a live baby. So if you celebrate the journey more than the destination, then there's trouble. And that's why you have to be careful. As a strategic thinker, you keep your eye on the destination and work success round till you get to the destination. You're after accomplishment, not just actions and activity. So please, going forward from 2020, 2021, you need to understand that meaning is more important than motion. Purpose is more important than profit. Results, excellent results from great process is more important than just the process, manipulating the process. Great destination is more important than celebrating the journey. And then great accomplishment is more important than activities. I would like you to take this home as strategic thinkers. You must be a lifelong intentional learner. You must learn by purpose, not by impulse. You must not be sporadic and be an emotional learner. You must not wait for extrinsic factor to come and make you learn. You must learn intentionally. You must be amazingly aware and incredibly perceptive about your environment. You must not misread your environment. You must stay tuned and keep understanding your environment. And when the dynamics are changing, you must change at the rate of that change. You must take time off for personal thinking. Separate yourself from the noisy world and clear your noisy mind, please. Because even after separating yourself, it will take about 45 minutes to clear your noisy mind, even if you get focused. You have to switch off your phone, switch off from the whole environment, and it will still take about 45 minutes to clear your mind. They are vision casters. You must be able to cast vision and communicate it clearly, concisely, concretely, and compelling. You must carry action. So please be passionate. If you're not ready to be passionate about something, get out of it. Stop deceiving people. Stop manipulating people's emotion. Be passionate. Cast a clear vision, concise vision, compelling vision. Separate process from results, please. Separate action from accomplishment. Speed is good, but direction, you must get the direction first. Meaning is the most important thing, not just the motion. And don't forget, destination is key, is superior to just the route of the journey. Finally, I will leave you with this. You must be a doer. Whatever plan you have thought, whatever ways you have thought deeply, you must be an executor. Once you perceive something differently, please go after it. The difference between winners and losers is actually execution. The people who ship into the market, either the market accepts it or not, they are 10,000 steps better than thinkers who never made it out of their factory, who never made it out of their region. So you must be a doer. If you're a student, you must go and face that exam. You must execute it. Depending on who you are, you must be a doer. You must be ready to launch out, to take the risk. You must spend that money on the proof of concept. You must be ready to willing to risk the money. And that is the difference between success and failure. Your ability to adapt rapidly to changes in your environment, your enemies, to your opponent, or to the market. And finally, you must remember, as a strategic thinker, by the end of the whole game, when you launch out into the world, it is whatever the world calls you, calls the benefit of what you're doing, that it would eventually be. However, you may have a different opinion for what it will be, but you must understand. And that is why, even though you don't listen to people very well while you're still making the strategic process, after gathering all the available facts and figures, you may not listen to the voices of naysayers, you may avoid the voices of experts. By the time you launch and ship into the market, you must open all your ears to get feedback. At this point, they are feedback for the next improvement, because all strategic thinkers stay nimble. They keep evolving, they keep becoming, they keep getting better. This is what I would love to tell you as we move into the new year. You must be a strategic thinker, and it has a heart, and you must understand it. Thank you so much for listening. We are Valdymas College. We are a place of eternal excellence. We are the joy of many generations. We lead the way in quality in class and 100% online education. We are a guaranteed place for 200 level university admissions. And we are the industry standard for access, for quality, and for relevant education. I can tell you, as of today, we operate the best and the most innovative school management system in Nigeria. Thank you so much for listening.